Hey everyone, I thought I'd just write this new video real quick to kind of explain a few things. Basically, the other video was all kind of screwed up. I was using a YouTube video creator, which, again, as I said, I'm not very video savvy, so I don't know how to work things properly. But basically, the whole gist of what I was trying to say was that, you know, this, as an example, was one of the things I was trying to show you. And as you can see, it is a tube, and it goes all the way in underneath the collarbone into where the heart valve is. Then I have a huge fistula here, which is pretty banged up and bruised up now, and it's where they cut to attach an artery to a vein so they could hook up there too as well. Plus the one I have here on my side as well. I don't know if you can see that very well. Basically, the whole reason I made the video is because I'm kind of pissed off at the fact that the government itself can go and they can take millions and millions of dollars, and companies can go and take millions and millions, if not billions of dollars, and create all these fancy gadgets that make people even lazier than they already are. They start to teach kids in school. Like my son is in school and is probably the only kid in grade 7 who knows how to cursive write in his class, at least properly anyway, because we enforce those kind of things at home, that he learns old school before he learns modern technology. The thing of it is that what pisses me off is that they'll spend all this money on this technology on things like being able to go and start your car with your wristwatch, or use your cell phone to lock your doors for your house or your vehicle or whatever. Backup cameras because somebody's too stupid to turn around and look at where they're going. You know what I mean? Things like that. It's a piss off, because then you get people like me in my position, and you'd think that if they could travel for thousands of miles out in space, they can create all this new technology. You're telling me that they can't sit there and create artificial organs to heal people that are extremely, extremely sick, that actually need them? And the biggest part about it that bugs me the most is, like, for an example, there's a guy in, I can't remember what state it is, but his name is Dr. Shuvo Roy. You can look him up on YouTube as well, or on the internet in general. He had developed an artificial implantable kidney that basically is the size of a teacup and goes into the body and functions like a real kidney, and uses the body's own blood pressure to push that kidney or the blood through the microfilters. Now the thing of it is that why is that not being used yet? Why has it not been tested on humans yet? I guarantee you there's probably a shitload of people that would want to have it tested on them. Hell, I'll go do it myself. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? I'll be back on dialysis again. I mean, it can't be any worse than it already is. I'm going to die either way. It's the same thing as sitting here in Saskatchewan right now. I've had a bloody donor, a living donor, for the last year, and every time we get close to getting things ready for a transplant, something else pops up with my health that they are too scared to do the transplant. Like, it's ridiculous. So what do? Either I die on the table, or I die sitting waiting to get on the table. Like, I mean, it's fucking stupid. And then on top of that, I personally think it's, in a way, I think it's a conspiracy, because the government has the money and the ability. If fucking China can go and use a 3D printer and print 3D living, viable, working organs with a 3D printer, I'm pretty fucking sure that they can grow new organs for people. But they don't. But they won't. And many nurses and doctors that I've talked to have actually agreed with me that at the hospital that I attend about that fact. Because if they did, what would happen? Doctors, nurses, pharmaceutical companies like Baxter that supply millions upon millions upon millions of dollars worth of dialysis supplies to patients every single day would lose trillions of dollars. They would lose so much money it would be retarded. But, you would think that common sense, the government would go and they would want a viable, healthy, able to go out and work and pay taxes workforce, versus having to actually support people's asses who can't physically go and get a job because nobody will give them a job because of the condition that they're in. I mean, how much sense does that make? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. it's like sending over our troops to fight in wars we shouldn't even be in the fucking first place. Like I said earlier in the other video, Trudeau should not be sending, should be bringing all of our troops back and taking all that money and pumping it into the fucking medical care, and not even necessarily medical care, but how about medical advancement? Use new technology. Don't be afraid to use new technology. If people are willing to volunteer, let them volunteer. That's how you invent new shit. That's how you get new things that work. Not to mention the fact that, again, you know, I'm not even trying to bring, this is supposed to be about medical stuff, but I got to throw this in there as well too. What kind of a fucking retard is Trudeau in order to go and allow 40,000 or whatever the number was of Syrian immigrants to come into Canada when we already have enough of a job problem as it is? They may say that it's good, but it's not. How many people right now that are actually from Canada? And I'm not racist at all. My son's half native, for an example. So nobody can call me a racist. My mother-in-law is from Jordan. So I mean, you know, there's no racism here at all. I don't care if you're white, Chinese, black, yellow, green, or fucking purple. It doesn't matter. The fact of it is, though, is that when you've got people in your own country that in a lot of the major cities are living on the fucking street because either they can't find work, they can't find enough work, or the work isn't paying enough to pay rent, why would anybody in their right mind bring in another 40,000 fucking people to try to house and feed and find jobs for? You would have to be some stupid son of a bitch to do that. And I don't care if Trudeau likes it or not. That's the fucking facts of it. You must be a dumb motherfucker to do that. And then you want to bring in more on top of that. If they've got a problem with their country, well, you know what? Do what we did and fucking fix it. Stop running away from it all the time. If it's war, that's the way it is. The U.S. had civil war, didn't they? And what happened? They fixed their own shit. Same fucking thing. They've got to fix their own shit. Their country's never going to change unless they stand up and fight for it. But what do? They keep running away and running away and running away, and then we end up having to fucking pay for it. And on top of that, we've got enough problems paying for our own goddamn healthcare. So now people like me that have major medical problems have shit taken away from us to provide for fucking them. How fair is that to us? And on top of that, the government won't even allow new technology to be used, like experimental technology to be used, because they're too fucking scared of repercussions. Well, get the person who's willing to be a guinea pig to sign a fucking waiver saying that nobody's responsible if anything happens. Hell, I would. I wouldn't give a rat's ass as long as it works. Who gives a shit? If I'm the one that tries it and it works and it saves millions of other lives, who gives a fuck? You guys need... What I think is that our government needs to grow a fucking pair of balls, actually act like men, grow a pair of... women included, sorry... grow a pair of fucking balls, step up to the plate and say, this is how things gotta get done. And get it fucking done. And stop beating around the bush about it because you're too fucking scared of what people think. Anyway, that's all I got to say for now. So I'll add another video later about some other topics. And you all, rest of you all take care and have a good day. And by the way, I also left the link in the bottom of the video because we're having issues with our vehicle right now. I have been having a hard time making my dialysis appointments because our vehicle struts are so bad it's probably not even safe to be on the road, but we have no choice but to drive it anyway. And I've tried already on Kijiji about asking for help for a vehicle and yada yada yada, and nobody's willing to give it two flying shits to help. So I've got a thing for that PayPal up on underneath in the description for the video. If anybody's interested in helping out, put a few dollars out to try to get just a cheap vehicle to go from point A to point B. Because basically, if I don't get one, I'm fucked, because I can't walk an hour and a half or however long it would be walking to go from here to Saskatoon for dialysis. I've tried also getting drives too, and that doesn't work out as well either, because I wouldn't also want somebody sitting there being restricted on their every single day, because I have to go 3 times a week. This isn't just like once a week kind of thing. It's 3 times a week, and it would have to be a commitment, like a total, utter, no matter what commitment. So, and right now I have the Kinsman Center willing to help pay for fuel and other necessities that I need for it. So, and thank God to them that they're there too, because I mean, if it wasn't for them, I'd be fucked as it is. So, if anybody's willing to help to get a new vehicle, feel free. whatever you can spare would be great. I'm just throwing this video out there, and I'm going to add a lot more later on. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.